We are live to the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by the lovely Cecile. Welcome back, Cecile. How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you. So excited to be back. I love
Yes,
this with you. Yeah.
I cannot wait. And all that beautiful sun is beaming in as we're just about to talk about joy. It
Yes,
couldn't be
exactly.
a better setting. And so let's just dive straight in, because you are a guide. You've had extensive training in many areas throughout your life. And I wonder if your idea of joy has changed in any way since learning the Hermetic aspects, or the Hermetic keys of joy. I wonder.
Yes, definitely. I mean, for me, joy wasn't really something I was thinking about. It was sometimes I would have a state of happiness, but I never really thought about what joy is and why joy is important until I kind of got to the path of the mystery school. But then it remained a mystery, because a lot of people would say, yes, the point of the path is to have joy. But I felt, I felt I was getting closer to understanding who I was. And I had some moments of revelation, and I had definitely moments of bliss, but that wasn't the same as joy. And so I was kind of questioning, what is joy, and why is it important to live in joy, and in what way is it different from happiness? Yeah, and so then, along the path, I had the opportunity to study in this class called Hermetic Joy, and I thought, okay, there's joy in the title. I've been wondering about joy like for a while, and so I attended that class, and that was so eye-opening for me, because it wasn't, of course, just a talking class. There's always an energy element to it in the mystery school, and it opened an understanding within myself that actually I had all the elements already to live with joy, and that the only thing I needed to shift was the perception I had of myself, because I realized that I had been doing it right all along, because all I was doing in my life was always to try and climb new mountains. Like, that's what I like. I'm Swiss. I like mountains, and I find walking the flat really boring. And when there's a mountain, I just want to climb it. And then when I'm on top of the mountain, I feel really good and have this feeling of joy. And so then I realized that I was already doing that. I was already learning how to overcome challenges, and then getting joy from growing and from the pains that come with growing, because climbing a mountain isn't comfortable. Your legs hurt, and you feel like, oh, the backpack could be lighter, and all this, but ultimately it feels so much better than just lying flat and not growing, not progressing. And so when I realized that joy comes from overcoming obstacles, and then it shifted. I was like, oh my God, yes, that it was like that key landed with me, and I think it will land differently with every person, because that's the magic of the Hermetic path, is that the teachers give keys that unlock something in your consciousness that makes you understand things the way you need to understand them, because of how you're built. So that, it's I just love that.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that, because it's an energetic thing, isn't it? Being in the class and receiving, because we can all read these things, or go, yeah, okay, I know that intellectually, I know that, yeah, but it doesn't, if it's not, that landing or that key being received, it's that aha moment that you go, ah, now I know, and now it makes complete sense, and now it all falls into place. And I just 100% agree with that everybody will land differently.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Brilliant there. Thank you.
Someone wants to agree, exactly. Yeah, and what's interesting is that sometimes there can be a period of adjustment, right? It's not like, yes, you have this aha moment, but at first it can, even when the key lands and the understanding lands, it can feel a bit uncomfortable, because we know that we know, and now we can't forget. But equally, some things have to change in how we operate in life in order to reflect that deeper understanding. And so at first it can be a bit like a, unraveling that comes for a week or two, or maybe sometimes a month. But then we come through to the other side and we actually start living with that key. And that's what I really love about the Hermetic classes. At least that's, I mean, I'm not a teacher of it, but that's been my experience of taking them,
Yes. I can relate to that also. Cecile, do you just kind of putting out there to the wider world, I mean, we can see the world, not in that great shape in a lot of areas. And some people might be thinking, well, joy, I don't need joy in my life, or that's a luxury,
Yeah.
or that's a luxury.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is for everybody? Do you think that everybody can have joy, number one? And is it an important part of our daily life? Is it something that we need, like the bread and butter on our table, that kind of?
Much. I mean, so much. I feel like the best way to see that is when you look at children, because children, they naturally have joy. They wake up with joy. They find joy in everything. They see a flower, they radiate that that vibration to everything around them. And what happens when there's a child is that the people who have a seed left of that within themselves, they resonate with it and they want to go with that, right? And what happens to a room where everyone is in joy is that everything starts shifting. Everyone feels more positive. You have more energy. The challenges that you have, you can address them in different ways, because the reality is that we all going to have challenges in life. There's no way of living on this planet without having that. But it gets so much easier once you have joy, because you bring an element of playfulness or kind of engaging with the challenges that is completely different, that doesn't come from suffering. It comes from joy, and it changes the whole experience. And so children learn like that. And I think they're such great teachers because they show us how we can live, because we were all children one day, and so we all had that frequency on some level. And some of us, unfortunately, had to learn the grown-up way quicker than others, and so it might take us a bit longer to remember, but it's still there. Yeah.
I love that. I mean, it's a contagious thing, isn't it, joy?
Yes.
That's the good news. If there is just one person or one child, or whatever it is, that expressing joy, then it ripples across that space very quickly, doesn't it? And in a world where we are facing challenges or things are hard, then that would be my number one thing to combat it, is having that joy, because it does propel you, doesn't it, to like go, oh, I can tackle this, it's going to be okay, or we can do this. So I do love that.
And then sometimes I think we have to remember that it's okay. It's okay to live in joy even in a world that is suffering, because by doing that, sorry, I'm coughing. By doing that, we're contributing to the quantum field, the energy that we want to see in it. So if we contribute suffering, we're only going to generate more suffering. So what we need to learn as humans is that although we see suffering and we acknowledge it and we have compassion for it, it doesn't mean that we need to generate more of it. We actually need to generate the opposite energy for it to come back into a form of balance, so that's something I understood along this path, that if we want things to change, it's not talking about it. It's not kind of feeling the pain of it that is going to make it change. It really is actually bringing the energy to it that we want to see. And so that's what we have to learn, how to shift that within ourselves, so we can hold the peace, we can hold the joy that we want to see in the world, in ourselves, And I know it's easy to say that, but how do we live like that? And that's where the Hermetic keys are just so essential, because they shift something on a much deeper level than the subconscious. It goes right to the core of who we truly are. That's the magic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head then, that we know that it might sound easy to do these things. And I like that you've brought that up, that it's not. We're not saying these are easy things to do, but they are completely possible with training and with tools to help and support us. Because as you said, if we're doing it, then it means that we're contributing to something very special that we can all enjoy.
Exactly.
And we go back to those teaching of we are all one, and we start to contemplate that on a deeper level, and wow, we can make a huge change, can't we? Just by changing ourselves.
Yes, exactly. And that's where we need to start, because we can think about people suffering in other places in the world that we can't even reach, but thinking about that suffering and making that our suffering isn't going to change the realities there. The only way we can contribute to changing that reality is actually to send out good thoughts, to send out joy, to send out peace, to send out almost like the thought forms that we want to create in the world of today, in our essence. And that's really what the work is. As magicians, we learn how to do that, and we train ourselves to overcome the parts of ourselves that aren't in alignment with that, so we can do that. Yeah, it's fun. It brings me joy, that's yeah.
It is so much fun. I mean, yeah, I've been wanting to hashtag everything like, joy's a spiritual thing. It's not,
Yeah.
it is a spiritual thing, and everybody has access to it. Everybody. So, yeah, I mean, our time is whizzed by.
Yes, it's true.
And it was a beautiful conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your own experience as well as thoughts on joy. And if you want to attend the joy class, then it's open to all those that have taken Empower Thyself, and it'll be happening in September. This is 2024, in case anybody's watching a replay. And everybody is welcome. We would love to see you there.
Yeah, I'm going to be auditing because I love sitting in these classes. There's just so much to get out of it. And every time I learn something more. So I'm looking forward to being in it again. But yeah, thank you so much for organizing this. Yeah,
my pleasure. And thank you for bringing that point up as well. Auditing, I will be sitting in every time, because again, there's so much good stuff in there that, like you say, each time I'm coming away with another nugget of, oh, I can do, yeah, great. I love that. So yeah, please come and audit, and come and be in the joyous class. It is really fun as well. It's really fun.
yes, definitely. I mean, Ipsissimus Dave, he's so entertaining in the way he teaches it. Just, yeah, I love watching him. So it's good fun for sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you all again soon. Take care for now.
Thank you.